Hey, what's going on? It's EK here, guys, and here bringing you another StarCraft video. Today we're going to talk about some basics in terms of, playing StarCraft after you finish the campaign, and like if you enjoy the campaign, please give this video a like. I played all 4 campaigns, and I tried to get as much achievements as I could. Some I just don't want to go back and do, but, I love the campaign so much. I played at least, I think, each of these several times. So anyways, what do you do now? Let's just say, you're a casual player. You don't really want to go play, start going in leagues and stuff where you're, going against real people, because it's a whole new type of game by that. When you start playing against people, it's not the same as playing against the AI. It's very, very different. And it can be very intimidating going in, because there's different levels, so you'll never be paired up against a pro, right? If you're a beginner, and if you want to go through that path, go for it. But let's just say you don't, you don't want to be really part of that, and you want to continue playing the game against, say, the computer, but you don't want to just play whatever, So there's co-op missions, which is very fun. To me, this is the next best thing if you want to keep playing online, but you don't want to necessarily play like other people. So co-op missions, you are either randomly paired with someone or you play with a friend, and basically you choose a commander. So you, instead of picking a race, you choose a commander who's part of a race, and they have only a set amount of units under their belt, right? And for each of these guys, when you first start out, you have to level up each commander in order to get more units, in order to get all their upgrades for all the little perks that you get. You can see here I fully upgraded Raynor, Artanis, and Vorazun so far. I'm on the verge of doing Kerrigan. So far I'm not crazy about playing with her, but I can't complain. I've done a little bit of Karax. He's kind of cool because he has some special interesting stuff. But yeah, anyways, so when you're playing this, what's the best way to go about it? And since you're leveling up a character, the best way to do this is to really maximize your time, to make sure that you get the most amount of experience for every time you play. Now, if you look at here, I have it set on random missions, and when you do, you get a bonus XP of 25%. And depending on what difficulty, you get more bonus XP as well. So, now you might be tempted to be depending on what kind of player you are, you might be tempted to go brutal, so you get 100% more. You might be, you might even play some mutation so that you get even more XP and whatnot. So, but doing that in the beginning may not be the best thing for you, because in the beginning you're the lack of upgrades that you have, and sometimes even the lack of certain units will hurt you a lot, because you're just not going to be able to fight as hard as some of your other partners that get matched up with. So what I recommend really is, a lot of times, especially if you're a newer player and you're not as accustomed to playing these maps, just play on the lower difficulties. Forget about the bonus XP, because the last thing you want to do when you're playing this is lose. When you lose, you get a fraction of what you would normally get, and that's not going to help you. What you want to do is win consistently. Also, play through the maps. One thing you might not want to do also is do random missions. You don't get even though you don't get another 25% XP bonus, if you're playing a mission that will only take a maximum of say 20 minutes, and you can play it on any difficulty, but let's just say you're playing on normal or whatever, but you're consistently winning, you're getting a lot. And what you're doing there is that you're consistently getting the XP per hour. You're getting that XP more consistently, and it's going to be guaranteed, so that way you can actually level up a lot quicker. And when you do that, it's going to be a little bit more boring, because you're not going to get as much variety in terms of knowing what the maps are. But it's going to help you at least level up quicker, because when you randomize missions and you start changing up different difficulties, a lot of the missions can take a lot longer. And when they take, say, 40 minutes and you only get 30% more XP, you know, let's just say like you get 10,000 XP for every time you complete like a normal thing, right? Let's just say when you do Void Launch only and you're on casual, right? Every time you play this, you get, you know, 15, like we'll just say 10,000 XP, just rounded. You know, I don't know if that's the real thing, but let's just say you play this and you win, you get 10,000 XP, right? And you get that time and time again, every 20 minutes. So every, hour, you get 30,000 XP. Let's just say you start, you know, turning it up a notch, start doing random missions, and then you want to go on hard, right? So now you get a bonus XP of 75%. But let's just say, depending on what you're playing out there, you know, now the game takes about 40 minutes, 30, like say 40 minutes, double the amount of time, right? But you're only getting 75% more XP. So 100% more time to complete, but only 75% more XP. It's not worth it. You know, you're basically getting less XP per hour. So you don't want to do that. Unless you know that for a fact that you can, the only time I really recommend going on brutal hard is really when like you got a really good hang of things, and you really and you're looking for a little bit more fun. You know, you're not really looking to you know, push your XP to the max, like, you know, in a day or like in a few days. You know, you're just looking for fun. You want to play. You want variety. Then yeah, you know, you want to be a little more challenging. Then use these other things so that you get a little bit more XP, and then at the same time you get a little bit more. It gets a little more interesting for you. But if you're just looking to level as quickly as possible, and you're not as good, and you're not as confident in your skills, just lower your expectations. You know, lower the difficulties. You know, choose a mission that you know you're comfortable with. If you're pretty comfortable with your skills, I mean, I think most missions don't take 40 minutes. Like, I think they take anywhere between like 15 to 30 at most, because a lot of these are like kind of time missions. So I think the longest ever took me one was like maybe 45. That's only because my partner left, so I had to control his base and my base. But we're already towards the end of the game, so it wasn't as hard as it's supposed to be. But in those cases, like, you know, it might take a little longer. But overall, you know, what I recommend in terms of when you're first starting out, you know, choose a commander that's recommended for all skill levels. You know, someone like Raynor, Kerrigan, Artanis, you know, he's the first guy I actually played with, and he is very easy to use. And a lot of he has really good units, you know, Dragoons, Archons, Immortals, I mean, Tempest, like you have a lot of powerful units here. And then his upgrades are actually really good too as well, because, you know, you can have random warp units in the battlefield almost instantly, like all these other stuff, like increased number of charges. The best is that at level 15, when you max it out, his is increased starting supply to 200. So basically, you don't have to build any. You only build enough pylons in order to build stuff, like, or in order to do like power buildings. You don't need to use it for units anymore, which is awesome. And then you get other skills as well. But yeah, he's one, like, very easy one to use. You know, and it's basically you're either experienced or you're not. I mean, I use Vorazun. She's the second person I use, and it's for experienced players. Take that with a grain of salt. You know, if you're pretty comfortable with playing StarCraft and you can play campaign on like hard or brutal, you're pretty much an experienced player already. You know, they're basically like, it's not for beginners. Like, and beginners, I mean, you kind of know, you know, real-time strategy, and then you pick this game up yesterday. You know, that's like a beginner. Experienced players are people who've like played through the campaign maybe once or twice and can do it on higher difficulties and understand, like, you know, hotkeys and stuff like that. Yeah, and some of the best practices of playing the game. So, anyways, that's basically what I recommend on this video. If you're a beginner to co-op, is again to just kind of reiterate: choose a map you're comfortable with, and choose a difficulty you're comfortable with, and just play that more consistently. until you get used to the maps, get used to how to play the maps, and because they do follow a little bit of like online play, but not really. In terms of how you start out, like you only get one building and some workers, like 12 workers, and then you have to build your base out. So what I also recommend is just watch some videos online and just copy other people's strategy for now, and play it over and over, obviously, and until you get comfortable, and then over time you can start mastering out all your different commanders here, because they give you a lot. And unfortunately, you do have to start paying for them at Abathur and up. So you get 7 free, 7 free commanders that you can level up all the way. But then at Abathur and up, you have to start paying for these guys. I think. Yeah, every single one of these you have to pay for. And you'll know by, Stukov is not someone you have to pay for. Awesome. So maybe I'll play some Stukov later. And yeah, so here we go. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like more videos like these, please subscribe and turn on your notifications button so that you know when I upload new videos. And let's talk more StarCraft co-op missions later. Take it easy, folks.